So we just went over disability, and we basically related those to the 4 options we learned prior in the last video. So now we're going to talk about how those options apply to an unexpected death. So here we're going to go through the same routine, the same comparison. Your income. Well, if you or your spouse have passed away, then I would say that income that was related to that person is pretty much gone. So how's that going to be replaced? Well, if the other spouse happens to make a lot of money, maybe that's not an issue. And that's where you have to sit down and do the math and think about it. Now, one thing I want to make clear here when we're talking about the husband and wife, let's say that there's a scenario where the husband's the breadwinner and the spouse, the wife, is at home taking care of the children. Now, I will tell you, in my 30-some odd years, I've actually had husbands tell me, I don't need any protection planning on my wife because she doesn't work. And I want to take the 2x4 out and just BAM! You know what I'm saying? Because think about the replacement of what that person does. God forbid something happens to your spouse that takes care of your children and takes care of your home and makes your meals. Who's going to replace that? You're going to have to bring in a caregiver to be able to take care of the kids while you're still working. You're going to bring in house cleaning to be able to clean your house, or are you going to do it? Or are you going to make all your meals? Think about the replacement cost of that individual. And now tell me that that person doesn't work or doesn't bring in an income stream or some benefit to the household. So something to think about from the income standpoint where there's unexpected death. Government option, your government. How does that play a role in unexpected death? Well, really, zilch, 0. The government is not going to pick up the slack on anything if somebody unexpectedly dies. It's just not the way it works. So that safety net is off the table. So now we're on to the third option, being your family. Well, how does that work? Is your relatives going to come in and replace that lost income? Are they going to support the family? Again, you're going to put your kids to work. How does that look from this standpoint? See, we have to walk through these possibilities. We can't just stick our head in the sand and act like it's never going to happen, because if it does, then you're caught with your pants down. Then you didn't have a plan. So, income's going to be affected greatly. Government's really not the answer. And probably family is going to be an option that's going to be very challenged. So now we're back to option 4, your funding plan. Is it empowering to have a funding plan, to be able to have a, let's say, a life insurance policy to replace the loss of income, to be able to take care of paying off a mortgage, paying off debt, being able to make sure that your children get the college education that you'd already planned for them, you know, making sure your daughter has that wedding that you guys have already dreamed about. It fulfills a lot of dreams. Oh, and one other thing that a funding plan does provide in the event of an unexpected death, it also secures the retirement. Because a lot of times when there is no funding plan, a protection plan in place, people have to tap into whatever retirement they have and they exhaust it because they didn't have a backup position. So think about those things when you think about an unexpected death. And again, death can come at any time. You know, the only real things in life that we know for sure are going to happen is aging and death. So have the conversation.